Chris?
Look,
I'm gonna put you in handcuffs if you don't stop.
You can put me in handcuffs.
Okay, then stop.
No, you can put me in handcuffs. This isn't legal.
Stop.
This is not legal.
What are you doing?
This is not legal.
Chris?
This is not legal. I'm trying.
Okay,
I'm going about my day.
I'm detaining you until I can find out what you're doing and why you're doing this.
This is
Put your
illegal.
phone down.
That's a Terry stop.
I'm detaining you.
That's a Terry stop.
Put your phone down.
That's a Terry stop.
A Terry stop is a stop of a person by law enforcement officers based upon reasonable suspicion that a person may have been engaged in criminal activity. Mr. Biederstedt is correct that Officer Holland is conducting a Terry stop based on the reasonable suspicion provided by the 911.
Section 26(1) of the Illinois Criminal Code says a person commits disorderly conduct if they do any act in an unreasonable manner that alarms another person. Read that again. Any act, unreasonable manner. These words are so unclear, they could mean almost anything. This is not a real law. This is a blank check for police to arrest anyone they want. And on July 4th, 2019, in Mendota, Illinois, that blank check almost turned into a wrongful arrest. Picture a public sidewalk, property that belongs to every taxpayer in town, suddenly treated like a crime scene the moment someone holds up a camera. Not because a law was broken, because one officer felt uncomfortable. Keep that picture in mind for this whole video.
YouTuber and First Amendment auditor Christopher Biederstedt was conducting a First Amendment audit on a public sidewalk outside of the Mendota Lutheran home in Mendota, Illinois, when he was contacted by Officer Holland of the Mendota Police Department. The MPD had received a complaint from the residents of the Lutheran home that Mr. Biederstedt was trying to film the inside of the building from the outside.
Why are you recording the nursing home? You're upsetting the people who live here. Chris, stop walking. Stop. What is going on? Why are you recording the... Chris, stop.
At this point, Mr. Biederstedt is officially detained and must obey the commands of the officer. In the infamous Terry versus Ohio case, the Supreme Court recognized that when an officer, by means of physical force or show of authority, has in some way restrained the liberty of a citizen, then a seizure has occurred. The moment that Officer Holland ordered Mr. Biederstedt to...
Before we go further, please subscribe to Police Misconduct Case, because we don't just tell the story, we follow the evidence. The man on that sidewalk was Christopher Biederstedt, a First Amendment auditor. Auditors test one simple thing. Will public workers, on public property, respect rights already written in the Constitution? The Mendota police got a call. Someone at the Lutheran home believed he was filming inside the building. Officer Holland arrived and told him to stop.
Of detainment in many of my other videos, and I will not spend much time on it in this episode, but I highly recommend taking a look at past episodes to get a better understanding of how a detainment works and how it relates to the Fourth Amendment.
Why are you recording the nursing home? I'm speaking to you. I'm getting complaints about your actions. What is going on? Chris!
Please let me go.
No, I need to find out what's going on. You're upsetting the people who work here. So stop.
I'm gonna go.
I'm ordering you to stop. So stop.
You work for me, I don't work for you.
Well, I work for the public who called me here because of the actions
Did I do anything illegal?
You're upsetting the people who live here.
Did I do anything illegal?
27 from 156. Can you assist? You need to stop, okay?
I'm gonna
What
go.
is going on and why
Is this illegal?
I want to know what's going on because you're upsetting these people. I want to know what you're doing.
Did I do anything illegal? I don't answer questions. Definitely not to you.
Disorderly conduct, Chris.
Disorderly conduct
You're
how?
alarming and disturbing the people who
Am
work
I
here.
allowed to photograph on the sidewalk or no?
Under Terry versus Ohio, the moment an officer uses authority to stop someone from walking away, that is legally a seizure. It doesn't matter if the order is fair. The rule in America is, obey first, argue later in court. So Biederstedt was legally detained the second Holland told him to stop. And here's the irony. Holland's reason kept changing. First it was filming inside the building, then his tone, then disorderly conduct, a charge with no clear meaning.
Section 26-1 of the Illinois Criminal Code states that a person commits disorderly conduct when he or she knowingly does any act in such unreasonable manner as to alarm or disturb another, and to provoke a breach of the peace. This is a prime example of a code whose language is so vaguely written that almost any action could be perceived as a violation. The core tenets of the code are entirely subjective and inherently flawed. Codes like this one exist in almost every state, and they are typically just as vague. These codes essentially authorize officers to take anyone to jail for any reason, and are often used by officers to arrest civilians who have broken no other laws. We will discuss whether or not Mr. Biederstedt was committing a crime later in this episode.
I'm trying to figure out what you're doing.
Okay.
Chris?
Look,
I'm gonna put you in handcuffs if you don't stop.
You can put me in handcuffs.
Okay, then stop.
No, you can put me in handcuffs. This isn't legal.
Stop.
This is not legal.
What are you doing?
This is not legal.
Chris?
This is not legal. I'm going about my day.
I'm detaining you until I can find out what you're doing and why you're doing this.
This is
Put your
illegal.
cell phone down.
That's a Terry stop.
I'm detaining you.
That's a Terry stop.
Put the phone down.
That's a Terry stop.
Every time one excuse failed, a new one appeared. That's not law enforcement. That's charge shopping. One of the most common, least discussed forms of police misconduct in the country. The right to remain silent. Biederstedt refused to answer Holland's questions. Using his Fifth Amendment right, but silence without explanation can hurt you later. Iowa Auditor Daniel Robbins lost his lawsuit for the same reason. He never clearly said he was exercising his rights. Biederstedt made the same gaffe. The right to remain silent. Remember this phrase, it comes back. Holland handcuffed him. This story could have ended like thousands of others. A wrongful arrest, damage that stays even after charges disappear. But it didn't, because Sergeant Stewart arrived.
It is impossible to know what the 911 caller reported to the Mendota police, but the officers mentioned that the caller was concerned about Mr. Biederstedt's mental stability because of his bizarre actions. It is likely that a court would find that the officers were within their authority to stop Mr. Biederstedt based on the information provided by the 911 caller. As Officer Holland places Mr. Biederstedt into handcuffs, Sergeant Stewart arrives on the scene.
Sergeant Stewart, I detained him because he walked away from me. He kept what's going on and recording people inside of the Lutheran home.
Why are you recording him inside?
And he will not give me that answer. He keeps
I
moving
don't.
away from
I'm
me.
definitely not answering questions to you guys, but
Okay, I'll hold him. Go see if they'll sign a complaint for disorderly
Absolutely.
conduct.
This-
Why are you being
And
that
his
way,
phone is
dude?
still
like
recording.
what?
He just-
Hey, can I not
You can.
photograph on the sidewalk?
They
Am I
were
allowed
they were concerned that you were photographing residents inside.
No, there wasn't.
You weren't. You
No.
just photographing
Look, all these blinds are closed. Yeah.
along here. I don't know if
Yeah,
they are or
look,
not.
Go look at them. All right.
Why wouldn't you stop when she asked you to?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Was I being detained?
Yes.
What crime was I suspected of committing?
In under 2 minutes, he dismantled Holland's entire case. He's not acting disorderly if he's on the sidewalk filming the outside of the building. A supervisor on record telling his own officer the arrest had no legal basis. Ask yourself, how many times did a Sergeant Stewart never show up? That's the real danger in this story. A countdown happening in police stops across America right now, where the outcome depends on which officer arrives first. Holland removed the handcuffs. No charges. But walking away free isn't the same as justice working from the start. It's a mistake getting fixed, and a mistake getting fixed is not a system that works. It's a system that got lucky. Legally, Biederstedt was in the right. Katz versus United States and decades of case law protect filming the outside of a building from a public sidewalk. But there's a separate, non-legal question. Was it wise to point a camera at a home full of vulnerable elderly residents? Being legal and being wise aren't the same thing.
The First Amendment does protect the act of public photography, and the public domain extends to whatever can be seen from a public location. While citizens may assume that they have a reasonable expectation of privacy inside their homes, courts have ruled many times that photographing the inside of a home through an open window is a constitutionally protected activity.
You really want to go that route?
What crime?
We're
was I
investigating somebody acting in a disorderly manner.
How?
You're video recording a nursing home and
But
you were upsetting the
photography
residents.
on the sidewalk.
We didn't know that. Don't we have to talk about it?
Photography on the sidewalk.
Okay.
Do I have to answer questions to that? No, I don't.
Wow.
Do I?
Where'd you get your law degree, man?
Do I? I was videotaping in front of the sidewalk. This is a universe. This is a right.
I have no idea, man. You won't cooperate with us and tell us what's going on. You're being asked to cooperate, and the police officer's giving you a direct order, and you won't stop.
Because I don't have to, because I didn't
Yes,
do
you
anything
did.
illegal. No.
So that's in your opinion, not ours.
No, it's not an opinion.
Okay.
I did not do anything illegal
Okay.
in general.
Okay.
The Fifth Amendment's, quote, right to remain silent can be a powerful tool for anyone interacting with the police. And in most cases, it is a good idea to remain silent as much as possible, but also within reason. The right to silence was designed to prevent individuals from incriminating themselves, and successfully invoking that right requires a functional balance between disseminating necessary information to police officers and not answering potentially
That's documented misconduct. Sergeant Stewart's correction was rare. Real-time accountability, without a lawsuit, without a news crew forcing it. That should be the standard. Instead, it's the exception. The right to remain silent is not the same as the right to remain unclear. Remember that. It's the one lesson every auditor, every person filming in public, needs to carry before they press record again. This case didn't end in a lawsuit or a settlement. It ended the right way. But only because one officer happened to know the law better than the one below him. That's not something you can depend on. That's luck.
for Iowa-based auditor Daniel Robbins, who was arrested for photographing a police station from a public sidewalk and lost the subsequent lawsuit because he failed to articulate that he was exercising his rights, leaving the court to draw its own conclusions about his intentions. I will link my coverage of Mr. Robbins' interaction in the info card above. If Mr. Biederstedt had simply announced that he was exercising his First Amendment right to record in public, it could have de-escalated the encounter and served him well later in the courtroom.
The only reason I came here and photographed was because I knew it was within my rights.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, if that's all you were doing, but if you're videotaping and taking pictures of people inside there, that's a different story. Or if you're going on their property acting in a disorderly manner, that's your problem to deal with.
Officer Holland eventually returns with what appears to be a staff member of the facility and informs Mr. Biederstedt that he is under arrest for disorderly conduct. Sergeant Stewart escorts Mr. Biederstedt to the patrol car, and then something amazing happens.
So he's walking by videotaping the building?
Videotaping the building, he's like zooming in on the
What-
windows,
what-
zooming
that's-
in on the doors. I know.
It's
and
not illegal to do
so
that.
I explained to them what's going on, and they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I don't know what he's doing.
Okay, but
Let's
time out.
stay.
That's not illegal to do that.
Okay.
So he's not acting in a disorderly manner if he's on the sidewalk walking by videotaping the outside of the building.
Okay. But,
That's the problem we have.
yeah, and they were disturbed by his actions once they found out what was going on.
But how are they? They're disturbed that he's walking on the sidewalk
They
videotaping?
were concerned because they don't know his mental state. They don't know what he was doing. And I told them I can't.
Well,
answer
he
questions.
wasn't, I mean, other than not obeying you, which is a no-no, which, I mean, that is what it is, but as far as walking by with a video camera, I mean, I'm not, that's not something that,
They said
even
they
though
were
they're,
bothered by the actions that he was doing.
you could be bothered by a lot of things.
If you want to verify this yourself, read Terry versus Ohio on the Supreme Court's official website and compare it with Illinois Criminal Code Section 26-1. Then tell us in the comments, if Sergeant Stewart had never shown up, what happens to Biederstedt in the next 24 hours? If this case made you question how much power one vague law can give one officer, like this video, share it, subscribe to Police Misconduct Case, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next case where we follow the evidence to the end. Holland detained a man using a vague statute, changed her reasoning multiple times, and admitted in her own voice on the recording that she solicited a complaint just to justify an arrest she'd already decided to make.
After a calm conversation with the sergeant, he is released, and the officers leave the scene without further incident. Overall, Officer Holland gets a C-, because although she may have been within her authority to detain Mr. Biederstedt, she essentially admitted to soliciting a complaint from a staff member of the facility and fully intended on making an arrest.
And they were disturbed by his actions once they found out what was going on. So they were willing to sign it.
Officers soliciting charges is a relatively common problem that is often difficult to prove. It is not uncommon for officers to solicit a charge so that they can arrest someone and go on about their day, rather than taking the time to examine all sides of a conflict. Anyone who has interacted with police can attest to that notion. Officer Holland fell into the typical routine of restoring peace at the expense of administering justice, but luckily, she was corrected by Sergeant Stewart. Sergeant Stewart gets an A+ for engaging with Mr. Biederstedt in a challenging but cordial conversation, and for questioning Officer Holland's tactics and ordering her to release Mr. Biederstedt. It is increasingly rare to see an officer display a relatively thorough knowledge of constitutional protections, but it is even rarer to see a supervisory officer object to the charges brought by a fellow officer on those grounds. I commend Sergeant Stewart for having the proper knowledge and awareness to dispute Officer Holland's assertions, and ensure that peace was restored and justice was equitably served. Well-informed officers deserve to be in supervisory positions, and Sergeant Stewart demonstrated great policing during this encounter. Mr. Biederstedt gets a B+, because while it could be argued that he was engaged in a constitutionally protected activity, Mr. Biederstedt's decision to record a retirement facility raises serious ethical questions. There is no progress to be made within the constitutional awareness movement by recording the Lutheran home, and alarming the residents of an elderly home only serves to make the movement look bad as a whole. Many of the home's residents are likely mentally unstable, and pointing a camera at such an establishment is obnoxious and disrespectful. And while Mr. Biederstedt failed to properly exercise his Fifth Amendment right to silence, he did remain calm and collected throughout the encounter and ultimately was not charged with a crime. Mr. Biederstedt would also do well to re-examine the Terry case and gain a deeper understanding of reasonable suspicion and detainment. Mr. Biederstedt did a good job overall, and as his legal knowledge grows, so too will his auditing ability and ethical awareness. I look forward to seeing the auditor he will become, and I highly encourage you all to support his channel. The link is in the description. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to discuss in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more police